Hey guys, how's it going, Companion? So today I thought I'd make a video about what's going on in Hearthstone. Some of the stuff I don't usually do, some of the stuff I don't really play, constructed. And, reason being, I play a lot of Arena. When I played Magic, played a lot of drafting. I like to, mix it up a little bit, just do it for the funds, keep it interesting, keep it different every time. And I feel constructed is good, play a little bit. I like playing with my friends more than anything, playing on the ladder, trying to have some kind of sense of ranking and all that, just doesn't appeal to me. But I have done it, I have played it, and I've noticed a few things that I think some of you guys will find it pretty useful. Now, the first thing is, this stuff doesn't really apply to people who are like really at the top. At the far top, most of the people are going to do very well because they know who they're playing against, and the people that they're playing against are usually going to play about one, maybe two decks that if you play them enough, you're going to know what's in it, you're going to know how to play against it, and experience, memory really counts for almost everything. But most people are not at the top. Most people are grinding the ranks, in the 20s and the teens and the single digits. And a lot of that stuff is, somewhat homogenous. So what I want to talk about is what you can encounter and how you can, kind of go through the ranks. Overall, the ranking system is pretty simple. If you win, you gain a star. If you lose a star. And if you win a lot, you get a win streak. If you're in a win streak and you win a game, you get 2 stars. And I think that's the most you can get. I've been told that the win streak stops at 5. I think I'm like rank 6 or something, so I haven't seen this happen yet. But what the win streak does is, even if you average out, across the board 50% win rate, just playing the game, you're going to go up in ranks. And this is so because of the win streak feature. There's no loss streak. You're not going to lose double stars. It's not happening. So the idea is, just in the sense of randomness, you're going to have sometimes a cluster of wins, and even if you have just as many losses, because of the win streak giving you stars as a bonus, if you play enough, you're always going to go up in ranks. So at the very least, you'll get to whatever rank this stops, which is probably, fairly close to rank 5 or so. And at that point, you probably have to win a little bit more than you lose. Though, if you get Legendary, you can't drop away from Legendary. So it's kind of an interesting system, and one that you have to be really aware of. What's been going on lately is most people who play either play their own shitty decks, which is mostly in the lower range stuff, or they play a lot of decks that have been posted that have been pretty popular, and this is, in my opinion, most often the case. You're going to see people playing the cookie-cutter Rushdown Warlock, you're going to see people playing the Healing Paladin, you're going to see people playing that new Warrior OTK deck, and a few other things like, the normal Druid deck. Some people have been seeing Priest, and what tends to happen is on certain days, at certain, periods, on particular kind of ranking ranges, you're going to see a very similar type of deck. And the people that I know that are, fairly high up on the ladder, for instance, I know that when Ixar got to Legendary, and he was rank 1 Legendary for quite some time, he did it just by using Warlock deck, because a lot of the people were playing counters to the Mage deck, and usually that's not going to work out as a fast deck. So they were playing fairly slow decks, and taking advantage of that, seeing that most people around his ranking were playing slow decks, he decided to play a deck that was faster on it. So what I'm trying to say is, if you really want to be good at this kind of stuff, you can do the net deck and stuff, you can figure out what the top players are playing, you can play something similar, but if you do that, you're going to have to play a lot of games, because you're not going to win that much. And if you're going to do that, you might as well try to pick a faster deck to get through the games at a faster rate. So for instance, if you're playing a slow Druid deck versus a Warlock Rush deck, let's say both decks have a 50% win rate, and because of the win streak, both decks are, pushing you ahead in the ranking system. You're going to go faster by having faster games. So you want to go, to a more Warlock-ish aggro type deck. But overall, the level that you really try to strive for in Hearthstone, if you're going to be, kind of a master at this constructed, at kind of this ranking stuff, you really have to know what beats what. So, you queue up, you may have a few crushing losses, you may be like, oh man, I didn't prepare for this, but, after you do a few matches, you kind of have some idea about what your opponents are playing. And because, as I mentioned, and it really is the case where a lot of people play the same type of stuff, knowing what's most frequently going to come across in that range that you're in, and knowing what deck could beat it is really the key to success. And I've seen this in even with hunter decks. People have been to legendary just because you can make a hunter deck that's extremely good against the warlock decks. And at the time, most people who were in near the top, near legendary, were playing warlock decks. So while he was losing almost all the games that weren't warlock decks because he was winning the warlocks, more than 80% of the time, he was able to move through and get his legendary ranking, and he actually did pretty well. I think there was a Reddit post about that one. But in general, you're going to want to play Hearthstone a lot if you're going to want to do well, and overall, this system is pretty good, but as the time goes by, because of the win streak inflating the ranks, it's kind of a good thing to get there first. Getting to legendary rank first, and they're going to do a reset, and they are in about a week or so. There's going to be some bragging rights to that, and if you guys want to go for that, if you guys want to just climb a ladder a little bit, maybe you guys can use some of my tips to kind of, at the very least, see things in a little bit of a different way, so you can know how to overcome your opponents and get to where you want to get. So pretty good stuff. I know you guys enjoy this constructed stuff, and maybe I'll be talking about this kind of stuff a little bit more in the future. But for now, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.